What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and another solo leveling Arise video. Alright, we got a special one here. We're going to talk about support units, the best ones out there, the ones you should focus on, and the ones that make our boy Jinwoo look even better than he already does. Now we're going to go over all SSR units and SR units to give you guys more options. I'm going to break down all the best ones, what they do, and where you should use them and when. Alright, so let's start off with how support units work. For all of you who are brand new to this game, support units are going to be coming out when Jinwoo does any form of stage that involves him as the main character. So whenever you see in story mode, hard mode, or normal mode, he's always going to be the main character unless a side story is in play. Then the side story itself will have other characters that are featured. So for example, right, if I do this one, let's just start it up. You'll see here, this one has Cha and Choi. These are brand new ones. So when you start the stage, you're going to see the two of them are going to be used instead, and June is nowhere to be found. So these, in this case, the hunters are the stars. But whenever it's a normal stage or any type of gate that has Junwoo's icon on it, then it's all him. So let's just quickly show you guys how this works. Okay, so if I go replay, you guys can see he is the star right there, and then this is his supporting cast. Now we've talked all about shadows. I'm not going to mention those guys at all. Go check out the shadow video. That'll cover all of that for you. Okay, this case we're going to talk about his actual support. Now remember, guys, you can create multiple different teams with various different formation names to give you guys an idea of what you want to use. So we'll use formation 8 here. Now this stage here, we're going to be fighting Methus. I'm going to just show you guys the kind of team you want to set up. Now, you guys know wind element is going to be the weakness, so ideally you want to bring a unit that does wind damage as a support, but that's not all that matters. I know a lot of people will look into that and be like, that's where I want to go. Well, get your head out of that. There's a lot more to this that is going to bring a better setup for you than just bringing a wind unit along. Okay, so for example, some of the best units in the game, let's talk about a few of them. So first off, Cha. What is her support? Now, if you don't know what her support is, you can simply click on, I believe it's this. No, hold on. This, there it is, support skill. So light strike. So what Cha does is whenever she comes in, she deals light damage. Again, not wind damage, so you don't get the extra bonus attack, but it does do a knockdown, does unrecoverable, and brand. She is simply put one of the best support units in the game now, bar none. Right? The unrecoverable does no HP recovery for 30 seconds, and brand lasts for 15 seconds on the opponent, increasing all your crit hit rate and crit hit damage on that opponent with any skill or damage that you cause, which is huge. Now remember, there's a cap of 50% on stats on crit. The moment you hit that 50%, you have to rely on these kind of things to increase it above the 50%. So this right away will take you to 62% alone. So this is a major, major support, one of the best ones in the game. Let's talk about another one. SM Beck. SM Beck support is by far the best increase for attack in the game easily. Right now what he does is he comes in, he does a roar, does 1133 damage to all users around him every 25 seconds. Whenever you summon him, he does deal dark damage, and he does increase your attack by 20%. That's right. This alone is worth having him at A0, just to have this one support. Now there is a caveat to this, of course. You also increase damage taken by 10%, so you will take a little bit more damage, but nonetheless, you can cast this because it lasts for 15 seconds. Every 10-second cooldown, you'll have this 20% attack, which is one of the best DPS increases in this game easily. So SM Beck for sure, whether you're fighting dark, light, it doesn't matter. Just to have this extra bonus is worthwhile. All right, now having another one here, Emma. If you are looking to have a couple buffs plus increase your fire damage, she's fantastic for this. Not to mention she also does a medium break, so she does cause airborne, and she will do heat absorption and heat emission. So heat absorption increases your defense by 7.77%. The user also recovers HP, so you'll actually get a little heal out of it, and then at the same time you increase your defense penetration by 7.77%, and the fire damage increase as well. Now this works really, really well with any battles that have fire weakness, especially if you're using fire weapons, right? So if you're using, for example, Orb of Avarice, Vulcan's Rage, the Grimoire, etc., any of those fire weapons will do even more damage here for 20 full seconds, and not to mention you become a little more tanky. So Emma is by far one of the best ones there. All right, next two, Lee Bora. She is a lot of fun to use, okay? Celebora is great for this because she does a couple different things. Number one, she does do dark damage. The amount of damage she does is irrelevant here. What matters most is the fact that she causes charm to all enemies in the area. And what charm does is increase the damage taken by 15% for 15 seconds for everybody that gets hit by this move. And it is a big vacuum, so it'll hit a lot of different units, all of them taking massive amounts more damage, 15% in this case, right? And not to mention, but if there are any things on the floor, such as let's say bleeds or any like webs or anything, she does a debuff zone removal, which takes away all of the actual debuffs on the floor, causing it to be a little more clear for you, such as poisons, right? Poisons are a big one, and it'll clear out all the poisons for you. So she is a major part for this. Now, I want to mention something. In my early access testing, her and Min's punishment and charm actually did stack, but the damage increase wasn't noticeable. I have not tested it since in global, so I will do that testing to see if in fact those buffs do stack better now and if they fixed it, okay? So I'll note that later. Now, speaking of Min, another incredible one here, right? Now, Min does a couple different things. He does a little bit of damage based off of his max HP. Again, damage is irrelevant here for him, right? What he actually does for you, which is more important, he does heal your HP over 10 seconds, but more importantly, he does cost punishment to the opponent, which increases the damage the opponent takes by 15%, exactly like Charm. Now, between the two of them as a support, I personally like her better for the damage and the fact that it's an AoE skill plus the debuff zone, but if you're fighting single target units and you need a little bit of heals, Min is amazing. And then the last SSR here, and the reason why I mentioned Choi, by the way, I'll explain very shortly. He is great, by the way, so I would use him too. So let's talk about him actually. So Choi support skill, he does a lot of damage coming in, and the beauty of it is it's an AoE damage, and it does cause a straight line of any opponents in the way. So for that alone, the damage itself is worthwhile using him for that support skill. The big thing for him though, he does knockdown, he does do a burn, and he does a defense decrease. Now here's the problem with his, okay? The burn is great because it does extra damage of 50% of his attack, but the defense by 15%, there's actually a higher version of this, which I personally prefer, and that is actually going to be Beck over here. Actually, he's not the last SSR, sorry, I apologize. There's actually one other one that I really like. So Bex does a medium break. He does a violent explosion, which equals 400% of defense and applies the defense decrease option here. So he does damage, does additional damage, and then he does decreased defense by 20%. All right, not only are you getting an amazing breaker, but you're also getting defense down. Now this is good whenever your shadow step is down as well too, because when your shadow step is down, you lack that defense down. This is a good way to make up for it. Remember, they do not stack, okay? So you do this whenever your shadow step defense is gone and you need another defense to increase damage. This is when you cause this one. So this is the better of the two. Even though Choi does a burn and more damage, I still prefer this in any situation where there's a break and there's an additional 5% of defense down. It does make a pretty big difference. Okay, so there you guys have it. Now the last one, believe it or not, this is the only thing I really like him for, is the support skill. Jinwoo does do a medium break, but he also gives you an additional dash instance of 2 charges for 20 seconds. It's huge. So whenever you are looking to have additional, especially if you have survivability issues in this game, he is one of the best supports, bar none. If you are needing more dash because you are lacking the ability to do perfect evasions, or extreme evasions in this game is what they're called, then you definitely want to equip him because he'll give you 2 more instances of dashes that'll keep your ass alive instead of getting chewed out by monsters. Okay, so there you guys go. Those are all the best quote-unquote SSR supports in the game. So in this case, I'm going to go over the SR units now, okay? There's a couple really good ones. Now, Kang is amazing because he does cause a bleed. This bleed is the only bleed in the game that has a support, and it's 0.6 seconds for 30 full seconds here, every 3 seconds. So for 10 full instances, the opponent gets 0.6% of their max HP taken out. It's worth it. It's really, really good against high-end bosses. So he's definitely worthwhile having. Also, Nam, if you are looking for a freeze CC with a little bit of a break, she's actually great at this. She can cause everything to stay still for 2 seconds, interrupt opponents' skills, just freeze them in line for you to get your thoughts together or to be able to pull off a big move, right? So don't sleep on Nam. Her actual break is really nice as well too, although she doesn't do a lot of damage. All right, next up here we have my favorite, Park Hee-jin. Now hers is amazing because what she does is she causes breeze. First off, she does pretty damn good damage. Number 2, she does recover members' power gauge by 15%, so you get your ultimate bar increased by 15%. She also does the breeze effect and also removes all debuffs from all team members. It's crazy. She's so damn good. Now what breeze does is it increases the ultimate skill damage by 15% for 20 seconds. Not only does she increase your ultimate gauge, not only does she remove debuffs, but she also gives you this incredible support move. 15% more ult, nothing to scoff at, guys. Amazing unit. Definitely use her as an SSR. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers them. Oh, here, actually, there's one other one. Dong-suk here. Really good. Does good break, decent damage, also recovers your damage or HP, increases your HP max by 20%, which is great for 15 seconds. So if you're struggling with dying, he's an amazing unit to use. And not only that, he has a non-resistant stun that lasts for 1 second. So anytime you see somebody like Igris or anyone pull off a big move, cast him, it'll stop them in their tracks. There's no way to resist this. It's always 100% stun, and at the same time you'll get yourself some more HP to survive. So those are my favorite SR units to use in the game. Some of you guys might like her. She's okay. She does instantly recover max MP. She does recover HP as well too, which is nice, and then she also gives other units additional HP recovery. So one thing that she does suck for, of course, is the amount of damage she does. But if you are looking for MP recovery, she's not a bad option. So I'll give her an honorable mention in that regard, okay? So there you guys go. Those are all the top support units in the game. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. But don't sleep on that, okay? These guys are going to be huge. So how do you set them up? Let's just go over a couple different examples, right? So let's just say I'm lacking DPS here. So what I would do is I'd go SM Beck. I would go more crit with Cha. And I want the defense down option and break option with Beck right here, right? Now this team right here would give me attack up, crit and crit damage, and then also gives me the option to do defense down in case my quick step is down or my shadow step is down. I keep calling quick step. And then also the break option is there, right? Now let's say I want more survivability and more damage for AoE. So what I would do here is I go Min for punishment, Libora for debuff zones, as well as Charm, which gives the opponents that debuff, right? And then let's just say I want to have more AoE damage come through, then I would go Choi, right? So then I get the defense down, the burn, and I get an AoE attack for support, and then where is he? Libora there. So these three here would be incredible for that. So I have survivability, I have debuffing plus debuff zone removal, and I have defense down plus AoE plus a burn, right? So those are really good options there as well too. And then let's just say I'm looking for overall buffing units. I go Emma for buff, more dashes here, and then I go Park Hee-jin for ultimate right there. Okay, so that's ultimate gain, debuff removal, also ultimate increased damage, 2 dashes, and then heat absorption and heat consumption done at the same time. So there you guys go, a couple easy options there to keep you guys going. Remember, these units are worthwhile just at least even getting for support. One other thing I want to talk about for support skills, just because a lot of people don't know this, the more you get dupes of characters, the more that skill will automatically level up for you, okay? After A5, every single dupe you get will increase this up to level 11, okay? So it'll do it for you, so you don't have to level up your support skill. The more of these you get, the more the unit will level up. Look at these guys. I would never level these up, but just so you guys are aware, that's how that works. All right, guys, this is Payne. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.